I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
You're fired. You're fired.
Never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance and opportunity in the world to pursue and achieve your own dreams.
Try things, and if you fail, it shouldn't affect you personally. People know the risk they're having in dealing with you, and don't be embarrassed about your failure. As long as you've tried everything you can to avoid it, don't take it too personally.
Now we're going to interview some members of the public, see what they think is a good leader.
A good leader is somebody who values the people who work for them.
Knowledge of their business.
A good manager supports their staff.
Daft, Kendrick and Brashina define management as the attainment of organisational goals in an effective and efficient manner through planning, organising, leading and controlling organisational resources. Today we'll be discussing what makes a good manager through analysing 5 important leaders and managers who have influenced the global environment in either a positive or negative way. We will attempt to decipher the good and bad qualities adopted by these leaders, as well as discussing what challenges that a leader may face in today's global business environment. Through this analysis, we will attempt to define the perfect manager, if it may be possible to do so. Richard Branson has managed to create a massive global business empire since first opening Virgin Records in 1970. From that initial venture, he's grown Virgin into a multi-sector global brand, operating in sectors such as travel, telecommunications, banking, music and leisure. Currently, Richard Branson is worth $5 billion, so it's clear Branson must contain some influential management capabilities. Richard Branson, amongst other contemporary leaders, are detailed as exemplars of transformational leaders. A transformational leader can be defined under 4 categories: charisma or idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. For Branson, it's not been all successful. Branson himself claims, "I have failed so many times that I couldn't list them all." One main challenge for Branson was entering new markets due to having such a diverse product line. Firstly, there's a lot of risk management involved, which is another challenge for Branson. Risks in entering a new industry include a lack of capability and knowledge from the company, lack of competitiveness, and availability of inputs due to the size of market share. However, Branson understands the importance of failing, as he describes obstacles as opportunities, again proving that he has a great number of personal qualities and skills to continue being a successful leader that he is today. I'll now hand you over to Caitlin, who will be discussing the managerial qualities of Mike Ashley.
The English billionaire and musical entrepreneur was born in 1964. Shortly after the age of 16, his family gave him a loan of £10,000 to start his own sports shop in London. The shop was such a huge success that he has managed to grow and expand into a successful businessman, winning many companies. Although Ashley has managed to create a huge amount of wealth in such a short period of time, he has faced massive amounts of scrutiny over the years due to his controversial management style. Last year, he received a great deal of backlash after the working conditions and practices in his company, Sports Direct, became known to the public. On inspection at the depot in Mansfield, a staggering 4,700 of the 5,000 employees were on 0-hour contracts and feared being fired at any moment. It was even said that employees would be punished by bosses for speaking and giving their opinion on the matters. On top of that, HMRC inspected another branch and found a large number of employees being paid less than minimum wage. Luke Primarolo from the Unite Union summed up everyone's thoughts about the workplace when he said, "There is a culture of fear." In business, managers have the choice to be either profit-orientated or to be ethical along the way. Ashley is a perfect example of someone who views profit as the main goal and gives little thoughts about how he treats his employees or even the effect that it could potentially have on the business. According to BBC in an article, on the following Monday, after the investigation, Sports Direct shares dropped by 2.5% and are down at almost 50% for the year. These statistics show the importance of proper management and ethics within a business. Yes, it can be said that low wage costs, for example, can lead to higher profits faster, but the issue here is that once bad news is out, it's very difficult to stop it spreading, and could potentially tarnish the whole image that has been built over the years. More and more in today's society, due to the rise in media use, it is becoming increasingly necessary to take steps to take corporate social responsibility into account, and is something all managers managers should do. By looking at Ashley's mannerisms and the culture he has created within his business, he seems to have an autocratic leadership style. This type of leadership style can be associated with leaders who only take their own opinions into consideration and take very little, if any, thought from anyone else. Ashley fits into this style because he has always been a confident man who doesn't seem to believe that his staff have any useful input and doesn't treat them as if they are valued in his organisation. French and Raven identified a number of different powers that can exist in organisations. One of the most likely to be used by Ashley is coercive power. This type of power refers to managers who can punish their staff instead of rewarding them. Mike Ashley displays this by giving low wages and allowing employees to be threatened to lose their jobs. One of the major challenges of being an autocratic leader is the fact that they are more likely to make wrong decisions due to the lack of input from anyone else. Furthermore, Mike Ashley must suffer from the backlash he has received and now has a bad image overall due to the unethical things he has done. To conclude, it is impressive that he has had such a huge success in life, but on the other hand, he is certainly not a leader to look up to and admire. I'll now pass you on to Alex, who's going to talk about the manager of Google.
Sundar Pichai joined Google back in 2004 as Vice President of the Product Management, working on projects such as Chrome browser and operating system. With his involvement in many other projects, Pichai's talent, responsibility and efficiency was recognized, promoting him to become the CEO of Google in 2015. According to reports, he is empathetic, supportive, and a graceful manager who avoids confrontation. He waits out conflicts rather than confronting opponents. Unlike many other managers, Pichai values others' contribution and is willing to incorporate them in his plans. Building a strong relationship with employees is key to him, allowing him to become an extremely likable manager. As a colleague quoted, "I would challenge you to find someone at Google who doesn't like Sundar." From this, we can deduce that Sundar is a transformational leader, as this type of leader raises employees' achievements and creates the right organization values based on honesty, loyalty, and fairness. Google has a strong corporate culture and clear values throughout the organization. In their office, they create a relaxed environment for their employees by adopting an open plan layout. This encourages staff to share ideas among each other, which ultimately enhances communication across the office. This relaxed atmosphere contrasts with Amazon's environment, where employees are under constant stress. Motivation is essential in every organization, as in turn it will increase employee satisfaction and hence productivity. Between 1943 and 1954, Abraham Maslow developed a hierarchy of needs model, stating the 5 most basic needs an employee looks for within an organization. The model starts at the bottom with sociological needs. These are everyday basic essentials that employees must have in order to survive, which include air, food, and shelter. Following this comes safety needs, which focuses on employee security, involving stability and protection. Belongingness needs are closely related to social aspect, where employees desire to build up a strong relationship with their colleagues. The final 2, self-esteem and self-actualization, are more difficult to fulfill as they include promotion opportunities, responsibility, and empowerment. These can all be achieved later on in a career. In Google's workplace, all of Maslow's needs are satisfied, and employees are motivated through both financial and non-financial incentives. These include bonuses, pay rises, free lunch and dinner, access to gyms and swimming pools, and additional holidays. By having a motivated workforce and understanding employees' needs, this has allowed Google to be among the best places to work. The fact that Google not only takes into consideration customer needs but also employee needs proves that Sundar is not profit-orientated and values his employees. I will now pass you on to Kirsty, who will talk about Donald Trump's leadership style.
Donald Trump, the newly elected President of America, oozes confidence and is not afraid to be unorthodox. Long before he was a contender for the US presidency, he was America's most famous and colourful billionaire with little political history. Trump's eccentric and powerful personality is seen by some to be too overpowering and unsuitable for his role as leader of the most wealthy and powerful country in the world. It can be said that Trump possesses an unconventional leadership style developed through his experience and success as a businessman.
This type of leadership is defined as those that primarily use persuasion tactics to gain power. This style is seen to be effective as it motivates, inspires and drives new thinking in a disruptive business environment, which is good in today's ever-changing global business world. However, this is not effective as his role in president. This is apparent when he announced to the American nation that they are in crisis, proceeding to say, "I alone can fix it, I will restore law and order." This is evidence of his self-confidence, as he believes that he needs no help in order to fix the country's problems, although this can be seen as debatable, as there are claims that norms of democracy, such as free press and the rule of law, have already been undermined by the new president. Furthermore, Trump's influential leadership conveys legitimate power. This is derived from your formal position or office held in an organisation's hierarchy of authority. For example, Trump has certain powers because of the position he currently holds and appears to be taking full advantage of this power with his self-important presence. We can compare this style of leadership and power to Barack Obama. He has a more charismatic nature and shows a more reverent power, having the ability to cultivate the respect and admiration of his followers in such a way that they wish to be like him. Obama is recognised and well respected for paying an interest towards cultural norms, with an interest also in other countries, not just the US, which is something that many people believe that Trump lacks. Obama states, "There's not a liberal America and a conservative America, there's a United States of America." This shows that he believes everyone should feel unite in their own country. Having looked at Trump's leadership style, it can be said that he falls into Mintzberg's managerial roles category of a resource allocator. This involves scheduling budgets, making decisions and assigning other resources, which is ultimately the president's day-to-day role. However, Mintzberg's roles have come under scrutiny due to its lack of being specific and not outlining any links between the roles. We also know that there will be challenges that the President will come across, such as a number of high-profile responsibilities with many rules and regulations to follow. Therefore, Trump may need to consider his behaviour and pay more attention to his leadership style. I'll now pass you over to Mary, who's going to talk about Sam Walton's leadership style. In 1962, Sam Walton opened his first Walmart store. Since then, the Walmart stores have developed into a well-known global brand and is now currently worth $215.7 billion. It is a multinational business with over 11,000 stores in 28 countries and is the world's largest company by revenue, as well as being the biggest private employer in the world. Walton's success developed at a young age as he made $4,000 a year through his paper route and his natural talent for management, creating a system whereby he hired and coordinated others to help deliver papers rather than simply delivering what he could do on his own. The strategy that Walton used from a young age could be seen as relationship-orientated leadership. Relationship management shows the cohesion between members and allows for the development of relational normative contracts, group processes and performances. Walton used effective relations with employees, which has allowed him to see long-term success within his business. Walton has proved his effective relationship management qualities through his visits to the Walmart stores himself, to meet with his employees and associates to show appreciation for what they do within his company. He also rewards his employees' efforts. His employees have also been motivated by his enthusiasm, thus creating a more productive workplace with higher efficiency. This proves that he also holds transformational leadership qualities as seen with other leaders such as Richard Branson. Transformational leadership involves various aspects including inspirational motivation and individualised consideration.
On analysing these well-known figures, it is evident that there is no set criteria on being the best manager or leader. However, there are certain qualities that make up a successful, effective and respectable leader in today's society.
We outline these qualities as being charismatic, innovative, having good employee relations, good resource management, motivational, ethical, and having good personality traits. We believe a good manager or leader requires all of these characteristics and qualities in order to succeed with their business and be respected in their position.
Even though managers have many favourable traits, there seem to be many challenges that a global leader faces. Through these 5 examples, we have found the main challenges include entering new markets as there's risks involved. As a manager must strategically organise their business and employees in order not to fail in the market.
Another challenge is having to appeal to a large global customer base in order to ensure customer loyalty. Otherwise, the business venture cannot be successful.
A manager must ensure employees are motivated and satisfied in their work to ensure constant productivity at a high standard. A final challenge a manager faces is they must build and continue to establish a brand and reputation by being cautious with personal relations, as well as being able to handle themselves appropriately in the public eye.